Ladies and gentlemen, today we are gathered here to talk about embarrassing things that have happened to my face. Hello everyone and welcome back. Throughout my life, I have always been known to be the clumsy one, and it's been a while since I did a storytime video, so I thought that I would embarrass myself here for you today. These are some of my best stories. A couple years ago, I worked at the Burger King downtown. I used to work until 4 a.m. every weekend. Now this was before any of my thyroid problems came to be, so I always felt really tired and I had a lot of trouble staying awake until 4 a.m., especially this night. This evening, a couple of my good friends came to pick me up from work so that I didn't have to waste money on a cab. As we were leaving, I honestly was so distracted by the thought of just going to bed that when I went to go open the car door, I opened the car door and smashed it against my head. I guess I didn't know my own strength. Once I composed myself, I looked in the mirror and saw a literal egg forming on my head. My vision was cloudy, my thoughts were scattered, and at 4:30 in the morning I had to be rushed to the hospital. So much for going to bed, right? Luckily, it was empty, and I got in right away because I gave myself a mild concussion. I ended up having to go for a CAT scan to make sure no further damage was made. So this second story takes place when I was about 5 or 6. My neighbors down the street were a pair of brothers from Jamaica. They were amazing kids. Side note, this story happened the day that I got my first swing set. On this day, coincidentally, both of my front teeth were hanging by literal threads. The two boys came over to play with me and my glorious swing set. And I don't know about you, but when I was a kid, I loved to sit on a swing and just put my head back and let my body swing. It was a great feeling. Now I get motion sickness and I can't handle that, but at the time it was good. But at this time, I was so excited to have my own swing set. First thing that I did was sit down, close my eyes, lean my body back, and start swinging. As I put my head back to enjoy myself, the oldest brother was standing behind me. And somehow, as my head was back, as I came up in the swing, my face hit his head. The threads of my teeth got caught in his dreadlocks. My body was still attached to the swing at this point, so my head was attached to him, and my body was attached to the swing. And I went, and my teeth stayed in his hair. I screamed bloody murder, but I still think he was more traumatized than I was. Now finally, this story isn't about me, but it happened to one of my good childhood friends, and I just really wanted to tell it because my parents and I were talking about this the other day, and it brought up a lot of good laughs. As kids, our parents bowled on a league together every Friday night. Now, her mom, my dad, me, her, and my dad's best friend all went together every Friday night in the same 5-seater car. That meant 4 of us were in the back, 2 adults on the ends and the 2 kids in the middle. So my friend was sitting next to me and my dad had just finished having a cigarette. And he threw the cigarette butt out the front window, and as she opened the back window, it came into the back window and it lit this part of her hair on fire. Pretty much the cigarette butt embedded itself into her hair. Now, she was mixed, so she had very, very, very curly hair growing up, and it wasn't pretty when it caught fire. I mean, it was pretty, but it wasn't pretty when it caught fire. Now, this happened when 6 people were tightly crammed into a small vehicle. The moral of this story is use the car ashtray. So I guess the theme to all this is pay attention to your surroundings, because either you can end up with missing teeth or up in flames. If you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. All of my links are down below, so you can check those out. I'll see you guys in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye!